Noor Stardia, fresh out of school and with aspirations to become a librarian, has his plans thwarted when a higher-ranked noble's son takes his promised job. His father, who is a meek man, and sister Alice, suggest he attend the Hero Academy to become a monster hunter or royal knight. While wandering the town, Noor runs into his childhood friend Emma, who is of higher status, however their families are close. Emma is disappointed to hear of Noor's job troubles. Noor possesses a rare skill called the Great Sage skill, which allows him to ask a great sage any question about the world, but it causes him terrible headaches. While asking the Great Sage about a way to pass the Hero Academy entrance exam, Noor discovers a hidden dungeon where he can train and become stronger. Inside, he encounters a blue-haired girl named Olivia who has been trapped in the dungeon for 200 years. She transfers all her skills to Noor, who can now create any skill he can imagine, but the more powerful the skill, the more his life points decrease. On the day of the entrance exam, Noor and Emma team up to collect rare materials from monsters and secure first place, but Noor discovers the enrollment fee is too high for his family. Determined to earn the money himself, he decides to become an adventurer. Noor enters the Adventurers Guild, where he's greeted by the receptionist Lola. She notices that Noor's skills are similar to those of Olivia, a former member of the guild. When Noor explains that he is Olivia's successor, Lola is taken aback. She then assigns Noor a quest to locate rare bugs known as rainbow grasshoppers. Noor also creates a skill to alleviate the headaches he experiences when summoning the Great Sage. Heading out into the grasshopper's habitat, Noor asks the Great Sage to tell him where the grasshoppers are, when suddenly Emma appears, angry because Noor didn't take her with him because they made a promise to be together forever. When they catch enough grasshoppers, they return to the guild, completing their first quest. Lola immediately gives them another quest, so they head out again, venturing into the forest. Noor and Emma head to search for a rabbit monster they need to defeat, but unexpectedly get attacked by some goblins. But suddenly a gigantic rabbit appears, driving the goblins away. Emma decides she wants to beat the monster herself and manages to evade all of its attacks graciously. She attacks it with daggers and wind-based spells, but the rabbit manages to get her to lose balance. It almost manages to hit Emma, however Noor saves her with a giant stone bullet. They hide from the rabbit and Emma is depressed, thinking she's weak. Using a lot of life points, Noor makes Emma skilled in using daggers stronger. The rabbit returns trying to attack Noor, but Emma, now stronger, manages to defeat it. That night they return to the Adventurers Guild. Having stored the rabbit's body in a pocket dimension, Noor takes it out and shares his meat with everyone in the guild. As he eats, Noor's life points increase because of the meat's deliciousness. Now that he has completed the 2 quests, the rewards are enough for him to finally enroll in the Hero Academy. On their inaugural day at Hero Academy, Noor and Emma encounter a noblewoman's progeny named Maria. Utilizing one of his talents, Noor perceives that there's a curse on her that will lead to her demise on her sweet 16. At the academy, the elite students in Noir's class begin tormenting him due to his lower status. Meanwhile, Emma is well liked and surrounded by adoring peers. But when Maria, along with her companion Amani, enters the room and greets both Noir and Emma, the students' attitudes towards Noir shift. Though he pays them no mind, a professor named Elna then teaches the class self-defense techniques outside, singling out Noir for special attention. She dares him to attack her, but upon observing her formidable strength, he wisely improves his dodging abilities and manages to evade her strikes, earning the admiration of everyone. The next exercise is done in pairs and Maria offers to be Noir's partner. They start practicing, but Maria soon faints and grows weaker because of her curse. Noir wants to help her remove the curse, but the life point cost is too high for him at the moment. Later at the Adventurers Guild, Noir and Emma ask Lola what they could do about Maria's curse. Lola tells them her friend, a cleric called Luna, can help them. The following day, Noir rendezvous with Emma in the bustling city, and they await Lola and Luna, a rosy-haired elven maiden, at a dining establishment. Noir conveys to Luna about Maria's hex. Luna reveals that she had previously been solicited to lift that curse but was compelled to refuse, even though she habitually has the ability to dispel curses. With his acute vision, Noir perceives that dispelling curses diminishes Luna's longevity in correlation to the curse's potency. It appears that Maria's curse is so formidable that it would prove fatal for Luna to attempt to cure it. In a private conversation with Luna, Noir reveals his knowledge of her concealed truth. As Luna aspires to save others much like her mother, she resolves to endeavor to remove Maria's curse in spite of the risks. When an accident happens on a construction site, Luna heads over. She heals an injured child by shooting healing magic with guns. Afterward, she remembers that she said she wants to remove Maria's curse and suddenly gets terrified of dying. Noir realizes he could change Lumina's skill, so it takes her money instead of her lifespan. However, to do that he needs more life points. Lola says she knows about a competition where nobles rate people's harems. She thinks that winning that event may make Miller happy and get more life points. Arriving at the arena where the event is held, Noir joins it with the 3 girls as his harem. The host and crowd jest about individuals' harems until Noir's harem takes the stage. Noir's companions captivate the audience with their beauty and grace. They triumph in the initial competition. However, there remains a subsequent test in which the girls must demonstrate their genuine affection for Noir. There are 3 scenarios that the protagonist, Noir, and his harem have to pass to win. In each of them they take care of Noir and show that they're the best harem. The jealous host gives them a big monetary prize and chases them out. Satisfied with winning the contest, Noir successfully increases his life points. Later, Noir and the girls visit Maria's palace. Ever since she was little, Maria knew she would die when she reached 16 years old. The curse was cast by a sorcerer who was defeated by Maria's ancestor. Amani brings Noir and Luna into Maria's room. After Noir changes Luna's skill to take her money instead of her lifespan, Luna begins removing Maria's curse. After her struggle, she finally succeeds, losing all the money they got from the heron competition. Maria starts feeling better immediately, and Noir uses his discerning eye to see that the curse is gone. Maria thanks both Noir and Luna, who are relieved she managed to save Marie after all. Noir and his companions are richly rewarded with a bountiful sum of gold coins for their assistance to Maria. They divide the treasure among themselves, bid farewell, and head back home. Noir surprises his family with a substantial amount of money. He plans to open a shop that specializes in rare and exotic materials with his family. He ventures into the mysterious dungeon to explore and gather rare materials and meets with Olivia. She suggests that he create a skill that allows him to traverse between the different levels of the dungeon and another that disorients his foes. As he descends to the 5th floor, he encounters a scene of slaughtered monsters. Suddenly, a colossal black lion appears behind him, but his discerning eye reveals no information about it. He employs his new blinding skill, and the lion starts speaking, stating that it has no hostile intent. The lion, called Tiger Sun, offers to take Noir to the 6th floor if he can fulfill a request. Noir agrees to help him, and they head towards the 6th floor, encountering monsters that Tiger Sun defeats easily. Tiger Sun wants to find his elf friend called Vachel, who disappeared on the 6th floor. Tiger Sun promised to wait for him on the 5th floor and has been waiting for 350 years. To keep the promise, Tiger Sun takes Noir in front of the 6th floor and tells him to search for Vachel. The 6th floor is pitch black, so Noir gives himself a night vision skill. From the darkness, high-level zombies start to emerge, and Noir manages to escape from them. Entering another room, he sees another zombie, but this one has clothes on. Using his discerning eye, he sees the zombie has a lot of skills and realizes he is Vachel, Tiger Sun's friend. Noir successfully turns Vachel back into a human after modifying his zombification skill, and they get to know each other. Tiger Sun saved Vachel in the past, and Vachel became his first and only friend. They started traveling together until they arrived at the hidden dungeon where Vachel wanted to find a treasure for his beloved but got zombified. Noir takes Vachel to Tiger Sun, and they have a happy reunion. Vachel, who is a member of an elven homeland, regrets making his companion Tiger Sun wait 350 years and apologizes. However, Tiger Sun tells him that he doesn't regret waiting for him, and the two part ways. Vachel departs for his place of origin, yet Tiger Sun goes back to the dungeon, mentioning that he has some unresolved matters. Noir, who is inquisitive, trails Tiger Sun and discovers him weeping over his companion. Noir expresses his empathy and extends an offer of friendship to Tiger Sun. He then invites Tiger Sun to reside in his abode and serve as a lion guard. Upon returning to Noir's domicile, Noir's kin is taken aback but welcome Tiger Sun as part of the household. One day, Noir and his companion Emma take their first test at Hero Academy. Over the next fortnight, they are tasked with procuring rare items such as a lizardman tail, dragon fang, and a unicorn horn. Following class, Noir and Emma seek counsel from Lola at the Adventurers Guild. However, upon arrival, they find a ruckus in progress. Lola is locked in a heated dispute with a fellow guild receptionist, called Sarah, who is accused of poaching Lola's adventurers and diminishing her quota. Lola suspects Sarah is using seduction to lure adventurers away but lacks concrete evidence. To raise Lola's quota, Noir and Emma tell Lola to give them high-level quests. Luna joins them since she is both a cleric and an adventurer. Completing high-level quests, Noir and the others manage to get every material they need for the exam except a dragon fang. Luna heard a rumor about an earth dragon in the mountains. To defeat the dragon, they bought spears, and Noir gave all 3 of them the Dragon Slayer skill. Sometime later, Tiger Sun takes the 3 of them to Treasure Mountain where the dragon resides. Noir finds out the dragon's exact location, and the group successfully defeats it. The following day at the Hero Academy, they turn in the materials they needed for the exam. Afterward, they visit the Adventurers Guild and give the rest of the rare materials to Lola. Sarah's quota turns out to be higher than Lola's, but there is still half a month left before the contest ends. Noir seeks guidance from Olivia on how to traverse the secret dungeon. Olivia advises him to journey to the 7th level where precious loot awaits, and to master elemental spells and a magic fusion technique to combine them. As Noir progresses through the dungeon, he seamlessly blends his stone bullets with a flame spell and effortlessly dispatches the zombies on the 6th level, eventually arriving at the 7th floor. As Noir ventures into the dense, verdant forest, he spots a group of formidable wolves and quickly takes cover. Suddenly, a tiny green-haired girl appears before him, identifying herself as a dryade, a spirit of a great tree. She implores Noir for aid, explaining that her tree is under attack by a monstrous creature. In return for his assistance, the dryade promises to reward Noir with treasure and guide him to the 8th floor of the dungeon. Noir follows the dryade to her tree where he sees a golden bee monster attacking it. With his discerning eye, Noir realizes that the bee is incredibly high level and would kill him in one hit. Seeing that the dryade is in pain and her tree is falling apart, Noir decides to help her. He finds the bee's nest and puts a skill on the bee that makes it easily targeted by enemies. He provokes the high-level wolves he saw earlier to run after him, and they eventually reach the dryade's tree. The bee has attacked the tree again and the dryade is lying on the floor lifelessly. In a rage, Noir attacks the bee but is no match for it. When the wolves arrive, Noir modifies his target skill on the bee, making the wolves think the bee is their natural enemy. The wolves attack the bee, however the bee defeats them all. Noir combines his water and lightning skills to form a bullet of electrified seawater which he shoots at the bee. The bee is weakened by the wolves' attacks and Noir can kill it. The dryade awakens and takes Noir to the treasure she had promised him. She also presents him with a rare and highly valuable green bead, which amplifies the power of wind spells. Noir is ecstatic and expresses his gratitude to the dryade, vowing to return and visit her again. On the day of Lola's showdown with Sarah, Lola's adventurer rank proves to be superior to Sarah's, enabling her to triumph in the end. Subsequently, Noir presents Emma with the bead that enhances wind magic, which she ingests. As a result, Noir acquires 2 potent abilities and feels more formidable. Emma invites Noir to attend a grand ball for the nobility, to which Noir hesitantly agrees to. Upon returning home, Noir's father informs him that he has yet to secure a location for their item shop due to their lower noble status. Noir reassures him not to fret and to continue searching. On the night of the party, Noir meets with Emma, the party's host. Emma's father appears and tells everyone that he has received a warning from a phantom thief. The thief wants to steal a jewel called Mermaid's Tear that night, but he has hired adventurers from the kingdom's greatest guild, Lamu, to guard it. When the party begins, a noble called Mike asks Noir to compete with him for who can dance with Emma better. Noir accepts, thinking he can't take watching Emma enjoy a conversation with someone other than him. Mike dances with Emma first and there's a big applause. Next, it's Noir's turn, so he creates the dancing skill for himself. He dances with Emma gracefully and gets huge applause too. As soon as Noir's dance is over, the lights go out and the phantom thief appears. It turns out she doesn't only want to steal a jewel but also Emma, because she is the host's daughter. Emma's father orders the adventurers from Lamu to fight the thief, but the thief evades them. She seals Emma in front of Noir's eyes and kicks Noir away. The lights come back on and another phantom thief suddenly arrives and steals the Mermaid's Tear. Both of the thieves jump through the window and the adventurers go after them, with Noir joining them. One of the adventurers and martial artist girls called Layla runs with Noir after the phantom thief who stole Emma. The thief summons a firebird that breathes fire at Layla while the thief attacks Noir with a dagger. While Layla fights the bird with her magic-reinforced fists, Noir fights against the phantom thief, finding out she is weak to lightning spells. Seeing Layla is having trouble, Noir makes the bird heavier and unable to fly anymore. Layla tries attacking the bird, but the thief doesn't let her. Noir attacks the thief for the combination of water and lightning and defeats her, enabling Layla to defeat the firebird using her fists. The adventurer's leader approaches them, saying he has beaten the other phantom thief, but Noir notices he is acting strangely. He uses discerning eye to find out the man's name and skills are unknown. Suddenly a man attacks Noir and Layla and makes them unable to get up using a gravity manipulation skill. The man reveals himself to be the other phantom thief called Tom. He wants to make Emma his wife, having seen her in town before. As Noir grapples with the formidable force of gravity, he manages to rise to his feet. As Tom remains fixated on Noir, Emma awakens and unleashes a powerful wind spell, propelling Tom away. Noir strikes the thief in the face, shattering his gravity spell, and emerges victorious. Back at the ballroom, Emma's father expresses his gratitude to Noir for rescuing his daughter. As a gesture of thanks, he offers to aid Noir in securing a cost-effective location for his family shop. A few days later, Layla transfers to Noir's class at the Hero Academy. Their teacher informs them they will be going to a training camp at a hot springs resort. As they set out at sunset, upon arrival they find themselves in a treacherous mountain filled with traps and monsters. A small flying pixie approaches claiming she is not a threat, but Noir remains skeptical as pixies are known for deceiving humans. The pixie offers to guide them through a cave, but Noir is suspicious. When he confronts her about her ability to control monsters, she reveals her true intentions and calls forth a group of lizard men to attack the students. The students defend themselves bravely using various weapons and magic. Upon exiting the cave, they see the hot springs resort in the distance. The boys, led by Hjorth, plan to sneak a peek at the girls while they bathe, but Noir disagrees. Their teacher Elna uses magic to stop them, but Hjorth proves to be a formidable opponent. Noir ultimately defeats him using a power stripping skill. However, another boy attempts to sneak a peek, but Noir chases him and they both fall into the bath. The girls who were warned by Elna did not actually enter the bath and the boys are locked in their room. The girls then enjoy their bath in peace. On a fateful day, Noir and his kin prepare to unveil their rare item shop. Emma, Luna, and Lola assist them in readying the establishment. As they open their doors to the public, a swarm of shoppers flood in. Later in the day, Noir pays a visit to Olivia, reminiscing about all the aid she has rendered him since they first met. He vows to liberate her from her imprisonment and witness her beam with joy. He inquires of the wise sage on the means to rescue Olivia, to which the sage responds that the solution lies on the 15th floor of the dungeon. Noir ascends to the 14th floor and arrives at a fork in the road. One path is intended for solitary travelers, while the other is meant for those accompanied by others. Taking the first path, he enters a room with a narrow path with spikes underneath it. Realizing the task is too hard for him right now, he quits. Sometime later, Noir takes Emma to the dungeon after she tells him she wants to help him. Taking them for people who aren't alone, they enter an empty room. Suddenly the door locks and goblins start coming in. The goblins tell him to drop their weapons and give them some food, so they do as the goblins say. Noir takes out some cookies and gives them to the goblins. When they ask him for more cookies, Noir secretly poisons the cookies using a skill. The goblins eat them greedily and every single one of them collapses on the ground, enabling Noir and Emma to advance. Finally reaching the 15th floor, Noir and Emma find a girl who looks the same as Olivia chained to the room. She doesn't respond to them and Noir uses his discerning eye to find out she is a copy of Olivia made by the magical chains that bind the real Olivia. She even has all of Olivia's skills. Emma frees the fake Olivia and she starts acting just like the real Olivia would. Noir tells her she isn't fooling him, and the fake Olivia changes her demeanor, saying she wants to fight him to test for strength. Noir and Emma attack the fake Olivia, but she blocks the attacks and retaliates with her powerful spells. Before the fake Olivia can defeat them, Noir teleports himself and Emma back to the 2nd floor where the real Olivia is. Emma asks Olivia if she has any weaknesses they can use against the fake Olivia, but Olivia isn't sure. She advises Noir to ease up on his efforts for her benefit, but Noir insists on repaying her kindness by helping her. The following day, Noir discovers valuable information on Olivia in a historical text. It mentions a cleric who possessed the ability to threaten Olivia through the use of a sacrifice skill, a technique that amplifies one's abilities by forfeiting others. Noir decides to acquire the skill for himself. As he exits the library, Noir is ambushed by an imposter Olivia, who seeks to defeat him. Unleashing the power of the sacrifice skill by sacrificing 3 of his abilities, Noir becomes stronger. He confidently engages in battle with the imposter, but his efforts are quickly thwarted by a single electrified sword strike from her. 200 years ago, Olivia encountered a young man who bore resemblance to Noir. He implored her to be his mentor, but she refused. Despite her rejection, he persisted in following her and pleading for her guidance for the entire day. Out of curiosity, Olivia asked him why he was so determined, and he revealed that he had made a promise to his deceased friend to become the greatest adventurer in the world. Seeing potential in him, she proposed a challenge. If he could inflict a single scratch on her, she would become his mentor. However, he proved to be a novice, and Olivia advised him to abandon his aspirations of being an adventurer. Nevertheless, he continued to seek her advice day after day. Tragically, he was killed by a monster while protecting a young girl. Regretting her earlier decision, Olivia realized that she should have taken him as her apprentice and properly trained him to avoid such a fate. She became trapped in a hidden dungeon, and in her isolation, she decided to pass on her skills and knowledge to him, so he wouldn't suffer the same fate as the young man she had met before. Now, she worries for Noir's safety as he fights her clone. Wounded by the imposter Olivia, Noir's sacrifice skills have worn off. Emma intervenes and saves Noir from a fatal blow. Lola, Luna, and Layla arrive to assist Noir as well. Together they battle the imposter, but she proves to be too powerful. She manages to incapacitate Emma and Lola, but Noir manages to weaken her by turning her electrified sword into a regular one. Layla breaks the sword with a magic-infused punch, however the imposter uses a fire spell to defeat her. Luna falls too as the imposter raises her body temperature with a skill. The imposter offers Noir an opportunity to flee, but he refuses to abandon the real Olivia. Desperate to save her, he sacrifices all of his skills except the one that allows him to create new skills and powers up. In a frenzied attack, he manages to strike the imposter, but she hardens her skin and prepares to kill him with a fire spell. As he lies defenseless, she launches the spell, but Noir charges at it and cuts it in half with his sword, which is now aflame. He defeats the imposter by striking her head, turning her back into a mass of chains. Later, Noir returns to the hidden dungeon and finds Olivia free from the chains. Finally meeting in person, they are grateful for each other's help and their lives return to normal. Noir's business flourishes and he and his friends continue their education at the Hero Academy. Olivia continues mentoring Noir as he strives to become stronger by exploring the dungeon. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on one of my videos. See you in the next one. Peace.